Hello. I send greetings from Tri-County Unitarian Universalists. I also send the greetings of our minister, Reverend Cynthia Snavely, who couldn't be here this morning, but she is here in her heart with us very, very much today. Today we gather in prayer and reflection, but this is just the beginning. We have a long, hard path ahead of us if we are ever to get to a point where classrooms of children are not threatened with gun violence in their schools. There have been 27 school shootings this year alone, and we are not even in June. Violence in school is obviously escalating. We absolutely have to find areas where all of us can begin to agree. There is a big continuum between nobody should ever have any gun anywhere and people should have free access to guns no matter who they are, where they buy them, and how they intend to use them. Let us figure out how we may agree. Can we agree that 18-year-olds are not always emotionally developed enough to understand the consequences of all of their behavior? Sure, there are plenty of mature 18-year-olds. But I have spent my career working with college students who struggle to understand the consequences of much less deadly behavior. How can we prohibit an 18-year-old from buying a bottle of beer, but not restrain them from buying a weapon of war? The murderers in Columbine were 18 and 17 years old. In Sandy Hook, they were 20 years old. In Houston, they were 17 years old. In Parkland, here in Florida, they were 19 years old. The kid who killed those poor people in a shopping center in Buffalo 2 weeks ago was 18 years old. This week, as we know, we lost 19 precious fourth grade school children and 2 of their very dedicated teachers in Uvalde, Texas. They were murdered by a kid who was 18 years old. It is inexplicable how he was able to legally purchase an AR-15 as a birthday gift for himself. I think the vast majority of us will agree that we should not be selling AR-15s to teenagers. Schools have been their gathering place, the focus of their lives. It's the place that they know best. Of course, if they're disturbed, if they're thinking of getting publicity, if they're thinking about committing a mass action of violence, what's the first thing that comes to their mind? Their school. What else can we agree on? Can we agree on background checks? Can we agree on limiting the sale of high-capacity ammunition magazines? As a friend said recently, if you need more than 5 shots to bring down a deer, you should be buying your meat in a grocery store. The shooter in Uvalde recently purchased over 1,600 rounds of ammunition and brought over 1,000 rounds of ammunition to that school. How did he get his hands on that kind of ammunition? Who was making a profit in selling him that kind of ammunition? Surely there is something that we can agree upon here. I have faith that we will come to some common sense agreements. This may or may not be the tipping point. We saw that we've had Columbine, we've had Sandy Hook. We thought Parkland was going to be a tipping point. But we need at least to work for incremental change. To not do so rather, is immoral. Right now in Congress, over the Memorial Day weekend, they're doing something unusual. They are working, at least some of them are working, on a bipartisan plan to at least find a common place where we can agree on incremental change. More than in the halls of Congress, though, I have faith in the next generation. They will lead this effort. Unlike most of us, they grew up with the terror of active shooting drills. They grew up with the terror of hiding in a closet with their school teachers during a lockdown. So today, in this interfaith service of prayer and reflection, let's reflect on what is happening in our country, where we have been and where we want to be. We can all agree that we want our schools and communities to be less violent. So let's pray for the strength to do the very hard work of getting there. Thank you.